I guess one of my videos got some polarizing opinions, which I knew posting the video of, the aftermath of me checking my ex's social media was going to get a lot of strong opinions. And some people were just flat out hurtful. And I am learning to let that go, and along with all the other things that are going on. So if you're new here, hi, my name is Jane. I am actively going through a breakup right now. My ex has now moved on. He is dating somebody else, but he is still living with me until he can find a place of his own. So that's where we're at. And so you can imagine that it has been incredibly hard for me to move on, and documenting my whole journey has made me realize a lot of the things that I could do better. And as hurtful as some of the comments I've gotten have been, I'm also very thankful for it, because it was a catalyst to finally get me to move in the right direction. So I discovered Yvonne Stein years ago when I first started my whole manifesting journey. And I always love going back to it because I get reminded of things that I have done in the past, and how I'm realizing that in my last relationship with my ex, I used a lot of control. There was a lot of control. So that video that got a lot of hate was basically saying that, I need to get over it. Like I'm stalking, I'm being controlling. And it's true. And in the moment, I didn't realize it, because I have this addiction to my ex. I mean, if I'm being honest, that's what it was. And now I am learning to let go and not be jealous, not be anxious. And it takes practice. Of course, I still get the feelings of anxiety, but I tell myself to just release, release, release. And you can find all of these tips in Yvonne Stein's playlist. He put it out like 16 years ago, I believe. But it's still so, it still resonates till this day. And I just wanted to check in with you guys and let you know where I am in my journey. I actually talked to my ex last night, and, said everything that I wanted to. I told him that I was very sorry for my part in our breakup. And I also expressed my hurt and pain from him moving on so quickly. And, he even said himself, he's scared. He wasn't expecting it to happen. And I believe him. I know that. But, it doesn't make it any easier. But just like the concepts in that video, we just have to let things go. Like, it's already happening. It's already here. There's nothing we can do but accept it. And so I'm really glad that I had that conversation with him. I feel like there's a lot more clarity, and I was able to get what I said off my chest. But let's be honest, like, not everybody gets the opportunity to do that. So if you're currently in a breakup and you're looking for that closure, and you want to like shout on the top of your lungs how hurt you've gotten or whatever, like, I'm realizing that like it honestly doesn't really help. Like, what helps the most is to let go. So even if you talk to him, like I talked to him, and yes, I do feel better because I at least was able to kind of apologize and clear my conscience from my part in all of it. But like, the only person that really matters in your healing is you. Like, the important thing is, do you forgive yourself? You know you're hurt, so what are you doing about it to help you heal? And your ex is not responsible for your healing. No one is, only you are. And I think we have this false belief that if we just talk to them, that they can somehow self-soothe us out of the pain that we're feeling. But after talking to him, that's not the case. I'm proud of myself for speaking my piece and having that hard conversation. But if I'm being honest, I feel almost the same as I did before we had that conversation. And so all this to say, I know that all of my videos have been pretty much focused on how I feel about my ex and the situation and all that. But like moving forward, I really want to focus on what I'm doing to heal. Like, you guys have heard my story by this point. If you haven't, I'll put the playlist at the end of this video if you want to see the progression of my pain and what I've learned. Like, I've already learned so much in the time that I've been video journaling. And yeah, I think from here on out, I really just want to focus on me, my growth, and how I can help someone else who's in the same situation to find their own healing. And I'll share all of the videos that have resonated with me in my own healing, because that's pretty much like all I've been doing this past few weeks, is absorbing all of this content to help me move on, to help me heal. And I sifted through a lot of videos here on YouTube. So I will share the Yvonne Stein one. And, what else? I watched a few other videos on self-concept, on the let them theory. These are all the different strategies and concepts that I've been studying and learning to get over this heartbreak. And I think the reason why Yvonne Stein's really resonates with me still till this day is because he explains how we end up manifesting these negative situations, right? So like, this breakup with my ex has been one of the hardest things that I've ever gone through. And I'm realizing now that based on his theory, that like I was saying before, I had used a lot of control dramas within our relationship that I didn't even realize until it was too late. So definitely a good watch. Like, I realized that I wasn't moving from a place of love, growth, awareness, or understanding. I was really moving from a place of fear, anxiety, and using all, again, the control dramas to like keep them there, which honestly, it obviously did not work. Another thing that I've been doing is watching relationships that I feel kind of mirror my experience. And so this is me being completely transparent, and I am not proud to say this, but Love is Blind. There's a lot of like therapist breakdowns of like different relationships. And one of the relationships that like I really resonated with was Nick and Hannah. And in that situation, I really felt like, or in me and my ex's relationship, I really felt like I was Hannah and Nick was my ex. Very similar. I felt like I was very further along in life, whereas like my ex was still kind of, figuring it out. And there was just a lot of the same dynamic, I guess, minus the contempt. I can't say that like my ex had any, sorry, not contempt, but deceiving, I guess, because if you watch, I'll again link down below some of the videos that I watched that explains, like the dynamic. But like, that was the dynamic that I felt like me and my ex had, and it made me realize a lot. Like, I do have a lot of insecurities. I was definitely a lot of insecurities that I didn't even realize until, again, it was too late. Until, you know, my ex left and I was left to really dig deep and understand what my part was in the breakup, right? Because again, if you watch the past videos, a lot of my videos were talking about, you know, like what he did wrong and how I felt about what he was doing. But when I look back at like what I was doing, I did mention this in another video, how I felt like I was, you know, Sarah Marshall, but in that movie, I felt like I was a little bit of both, you know, like how Pete like dealt with the breakup, and then how Sarah Marshall was, you know, other minus the cheating. I never cheated on my ex. So with that said, I clearly have a lot of growth to do, and it's not until you recognize that and openly admit it that you can start to make the changes to become a better version of yourself so that you can also attract better partners. One thing that I realized is that, you know, I do believe that we are all projections of each other. And so he really brought out characteristics of myself that I'm not proud of and that I don't even identify with. But I think because of our energies and our dynamic and what he was going through and internally made it kind of made me project, or it's like he was projecting his energy out of me. And so that's why I felt so out of character. Not to like blame him, but I'm just trying to like make sense of it. And I could be wrong. And again, theories change, perspectives change, but that's kind of like the best explanation I could really give myself with the whole like acting out of character thing. But that also inspires me to really define who I am and who I want to be and intentionally act on that. Because I wasn't able to do that in my last relationship because I was so fixated on like improving him, right? Like I felt like I could fix this man, and that's literally the worst thing that you can do. The only person that you can fix is you, and that's the only person that you should really focus on. Your relationship is supposed to be like an addition to your life, not your entire life, you know? They are their own person, you are your own person, and the more that you're able to really hone in on that and focus on that and keep your boundaries strong, set them, and actually honor them, you won't have as hard of a time with your breakup as I did, right? Like I realized that part of the reason why it was so hard for me to get over this breakup is because I inserted myself into his life and abandoned my own. That when he left, it was like, what do I do now? What the hell do I do? I'm so lost. I don't know who I am anymore. And this new chapter, I'm just super excited to rebuild. And so I hope that you know, I'm very hopeful for the future. Like now, anytime I get anxiety or if I get sad about how things kind of played out, I just remember the let them theory. You know, you just got to let people do what they want to do. What's meant for you wouldn't leave you. And so, you know, if people are showing that they want to go, let them go. Let them go. Don't try to force it. Don't try to convince them of your worth. Like, everything is happening for a reason. And when people show you who they are, believe them, because you are seeing people through your own perspective. And sometimes we just need that wake up call. And yeah, I hope that this woke somebody up today. I think that's it for my stream of consciousness. I'm again, I'm becoming more hopeful. I had a rough day yesterday. I cried because I went through all of our text messages and realized how unaware I was. And that's what prompted the conversation with him, with me apologizing, because I really did not see it in the thick of the moment, but I see it now, and I can see why he decided to leave. And you know, again, people said that in the comments with my video of checking up on my ex. Like, you know, now I know that I was very controlling, and anytime I'm trying to control something else, I lose control of me. And so I don't ever want to let that happen again. And I am determined to be more mindful of that in my next relationship. So this is not, this is very embarrassing to admit, but these are the hard things that I feel like people need to talk about, because I wish I saw somebody else talking about this so that I know what mistakes I'm making, you know? Like, thank God for Love is Blind and seeing Hannah do all those things. Like, I'm sure if she knew how bad she looked on TV, she wouldn't, you know, she would have changed. But not everybody has the privilege to, you know, be recorded and be shown like your true colors. And that's part of the reason why I'm doing this documentary, is because I'm trying to see my true colors so that I know how to improve and share with somebody else, and kind of normalize that, like, we're not all perfect. We all have like qualms and, you know, characteristics about ourselves that are not ideal. And I just feel like a lot of you know, content nowadays is just conflated, and I'm just trying to provide something real on the internet, y'all. Like, there's so much AI bullshit and just like scripted stuff. Like, this is my life unscripted. You are seeing it unfold as it happens. You are seeing me learn as I go, figuring it out as I go. And I really do appreciate you guys for being on this journey with me. You have inspired me more than you know, just by being here. And I hope that I can serve as an inspiration to somebody else who needed to just, I don't know, see something real. So, okay, that is it. That is really it for my consciousness today. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one. Love you guys. Bye.